Motorweek Illustrated is brought to you by Dodge, an American revolution, a performance revolution. And by Coors, the beer with a difference worth tasting. Coors is the one.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Despain. We welcome you to a very special edition of Motorweek Illustrated.
And I'm Bob Varsha. In the next half hour, we'll review the outstanding performances of the 1985 racing season and name the winners of our Behind the Scenes and Racer of the Year awards.
You've heard this familiar music 52 times since a year ago today when Mario Andretti was named 1984 Racer of the Year. Each Saturday, the champion spark plug Racer of the Week has been honored for his or her accomplishment, for the individual effort that topped all the rest in that 7-day period. Now it's an impressive array of winners and champions, and today we're going to review the season-long performances of a select few of those racers and name the 1985 Motorweek Racer of the Year. And with that, Bob, let's roll. Where do you want to start this review of the season?
Well, how about drag racing, Dave, where 3 drivers earned themselves a shot at honors as Racer of the Year. Big Daddy Don Garlits did more than simply return to full-time drag racing in 1985. He came out smoking, picking up 6 Top Fuel titles in 13 events. Along the way, this 53-year-old pioneer captured the sport's most prestigious event, the U.S. Nationals at Indianapolis, for a record 7th time. With his second Top Fuel World Championship already in hand, Garlits ran the fastest quarter mile in history at the Winston World Finals in Pomona, California, 268.01 miles per hour. Make no mistake, Big Daddy is back. In Funny Car, the Budweiser King Ford Tempo of Kenny Bernstein was the dominant force, winning 6 NHRA and 2 IHRA events, plus the season's 2 big buck shootouts at Indianapolis and Darlington, South Carolina. For good measure, Kenny added the quickest pro funny run in history, turning 5.56 seconds in qualifying for the NHRA Keystone Nationals in Pennsylvania. Bernstein was simply the boss in Funny Car 1985. With the tragic death of defending Pro Stock champ Lee Shepard, the man to beat in '85 was 5-time world champ Bob Glidden. The winningest driver in pro drag racing history, Glidden padded his career totals with 5 more victories in '85 for a total of 46. By qualifying for the NHRA Fall Nationals at Phoenix in October, Glidden clinched his 6th World Pro Stock Championship, adding national ET and speed records at the beginning and end of the season. Once again this year, there was no denying Bob Glidden. And Dave, if you need a sentimental favorite in that group, I'll give you Big Daddy.
Well, I'll take that one, Bob. And we're going to turn now to motorcycle racing. Our 1983 Racer of the Year, Freddie Spencer, reached new heights in '85, and he's a candidate to become the first 2-time Racer of the Year. After losing the World Championship due to injury last year, Spencer came back tougher than ever. In the Premier 500 class, he totally dominated the competition and ran away from his rival #1 defending world champ and fellow American Eddie Lawson. For an encore, Spencer won the 250cc World Championship, and no other rider in history has taken both those crowns in a single season. Helmets off to the double world champion, Freddie Spencer.
Virtually all of our Racer of the Year nominees set some sort of record en route to their nomination. Our next 2 candidates established new marks for earnings and speed. In 1985, Doug Wolfgang racked up one of the busiest and most successful sprint car seasons ever. In scoring 55 feature victories and nearly $350,000 in prize money, Wolfgang took the prestigious Knoxville Nationals for the 2nd straight year, as well as the rich Kings Royal shootout at Ohio's Eldora Speedway. With a victory in virtually every major sprint race of the year, Doug Wolfgang was truly the king of the short tracks. On the water, unlimited hydroplane champ Chip Hanauer made his bid for Racer of the Year honors by sweeping to his 4th consecutive Gold Cup title, a modern record. The 30-year-old Hanauer and his Miller American turbine-powered hydro won 5 of 9 events and set a new national 2.5-mile qualifying record of 153 miles per hour in the process, making Chip Hanauer the only unlimited driver ever to break 150. Still ahead, IndyCar, stock car, and road and off-road racing candidates for Racer of the Year.
That Racer of the Year is going to get one of 2 Honda motorcycles. We'll give away the other one right after this. Our Jerry Garrett has followed the IndyCar campaign this year. Jerry?
Well, Dave, this year was the best I've seen in 14 years of covering it, and it produced 3 candidates for Racer of the Year.
Danny Sullivan won the year's plum, the Indianapolis 500. He did it in spectacular fashion, spinning in front of Mario Andretti, then coming back to win. Sullivan's good luck didn't stop there. He was in the top 10 times, led more laps than anyone else, and earned a record $950,000 for the year. But the spotlight was shared by the Unser family, Al Sr. and Jr. Jr. had a poor first half of the season, but with back-to-back victories in New York and Cleveland, he was suddenly atop the standings. Jr. stayed there despite breaking his ankle in this crash until the next to last race of the season. That's when Al Sr.'s slow climb to the top crested with a win at Phoenix. Al Sr. was only supposed to drive 3 races this year, yet as a fill-in for the injured Rick Mears, Sr. ultimately finished 12 of 14 starts. A 4th in the season finale netted him the season championship by a scant point, the closest margin ever over his son, Al Jr.
And Al Unser's championship also stands as a tribute to the guy I nominated for the 1985 Behind the Scenes Award, Dave.
Jerry's nomination was quickly seconded, and when all the debate was over, the vote was unanimous. 2 seasons ago, foot and leg injuries from this crash in Canada threatened to end Rick Mears' career. But Rick came back. He raced this year's Indy 500, and he won at Pocono. But those were oval races where Mears could run flat out without taxing his tender feet. On the road courses, where fancy footwork is a must, he hobbled aside for Al Unser Sr. By the time Rick's legs were strong enough to handle the road courses, Unser was in the thick of the championship battle. So even though he was well enough to compete, Mears graciously turned over his Pennzoil racer for the final 3 events of the year in hopes that he could bring home the Penske team's 7th championship in the last 9 seasons. In the key race here at Phoenix, where Unser lapped the field and built the cushion that would guarantee his championship, Mears even set up the car for Unser. And when Big Al finally clinched the crown, Rick was on the pit crew cheering him on. And today, Rick Mears is right here to accept our accolades as U.S. Air Force Reserve Wrangler Behind the Scenes Award winner. Rick, nice to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It was so long between checkered flags for you. It must have been difficult when you won Pocono to climb back out of that car and say, okay, Al, you drive it. That must have been a hard decision.
Well, it was a hard decision, but you know what really made it easier, we did win Pocono, and that's kind of what we wanted to get accomplished for the year, was to win a race, get back and get in the swing of things. But with Al in the points championship the way it was, you know, I've always been pretty much a team player, and that's the way the Penske organization is. And for Pennzoil to get into that position, you know, it would have made no sense whatsoever for me to do anything to kind of hold Al up.
Was it your decision, or was it a team decision?
Well, it was really kind of a team decision. You know, Roger and I both talked about it and discussed it, you know, going into that, you know, the possibility of that happening. And, you know, and with Al the way he is, him and I have a good relationship. We've always gotten along well, and I really feel he's the type that would have done the same thing for me if the situation would have been reversed. You know, there's probably a lot of guys out there that I wouldn't have been so likely to do it for, but Al made that a lot easier.
Watching him take that checkered flag at Phoenix, you must have had at least a moment of thinking, boy, that could be me.
Oh, yes, quite a few of those moments. That's kind of to get a car, you know, hooked up that well, to get that kind of an advantage on everybody, that's kind of a once-in-a-lifetime deal to get going like that. And when we got through the testing, I knew we had a good shot on him. So it made it a little more difficult, but as it worked out well. Now, if Al hadn't won the championship, I'd have been upset, but he did, so it worked out great.
This year, behind the scenes, next year, Racer of the Year, I'm sure, is in your game plan. What's the prognosis?
Well, it's, you know, we're going to have to slow Elliott down a little bit first, I guess, the way he's going. But no, we're going to, you know, we're just going to get back in the swing of things and get the Pennzoil car running up front again, hopefully, and run all the races, all the road course races, all of them. And we've done a little testing earlier this week to see how the feet worked on a road course, and everything came out pretty well. So just want to get up there and win some races next year.
What about that Chevy engine? How did it work out on the road course?
It's working out pretty well, too. I think the Chevrolet is going to work nice. It seems to have a pretty good power band. Everything's pulling pretty well right now.
Well, you haven't been winning enough trophies with your tender tootsies. We're going to fix you up here today.
All right.
The people who have made this award possible are joining us today. It's our pleasure to have with us Colonel Chuck Ramsdale. He's the commander of the U.S. Air Force Reserve Recruiting, and also Doug Wade, who is the sales manager for Wrangler. And Colonel, we're going to let you do the honors.
Okay. Rick, it's a pleasure for the Air Force Reserve to join Motor Week and recognize the man behind the scenes. Recruiters really know that position well.
No, thank you very much.
Have that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
We also have a Honda Sabre 700 motorcycle for you, Rick. That'll be great for getting around. Doug, do the honors there, if you will.
Rick, the people at Wrangler Jeans congratulate you on a superb year. And in recognition of that, we'd like to present the keys to this motorcycle.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Ken.
I'm so jealous. We're going to let you walk over there and take a look at that motorcycle. You guys get back. Whatever you do, don't step on his feet. And the rest of you stand by, because we're going to be back to meet our Racer of the Year in just a moment. Stay with us. Jim Roller is our resident road race and rally nut. Any Racer of the Year candidates in there?
Well, you let me have a vote. What do you think? All season long, our Beatrice Formula One reports have followed the quest for the World Driving Championship. That quest ended with an historic accomplishment.
Alain Prost is the driver of the 80s in Formula One. He has won a quarter of the races he has contested since his 1980 debut. This season, Prost upped his remarkable career win total to 21 with 5 Grand Prix victories. He ended 3 years of frustration by grabbing the elusive World Championship. But no matter how many races or championships he wins or records he may set, Alain Prost will be remembered most for ending a 34-year jinx by becoming the first French world champion in modern Grand Prix history.
Jim, Beatrice has helped us to cover Grand Prix racing in '85. I wonder about their prospects for 1986 for the team.
Well, they have a new Ford engine. It'll be a development year. They should be fairly respectable. And look out in 1987 once they get all the bugs worked out. From the rest of the world of road racing come 4 more candidates for Racer of the Year.
In endurance racing, Englishman Derek Bell and Germany's Hans Stuck ended personal jinxes. They teamed in a factory Porsche to claim the World Endurance Championship. Despite their highly renowned and successful careers, this was the first title of any sort for either driver. Bell also had a hand in the success of another nominee, IMSA Camel GT champion Al Holbert. Holbert teamed with Bell for 6 of his record-tying 9 wins. At the season finale in Daytona, Holbert even drove 2 different cars from mid-pack to the lead before winning in his now familiar Lowenbrow Porsche number 14. Wally Dallenbeck Jr., the 1985 Trans Am titleist, won his first championship early. Just 1 year ago, Wally was the Series Rookie of the Year. This season, he won 5 times and finished in the top 5 in all 15 series races, on his way to his first major crown.
You know, one of the great things about motorsports is its variety, Jim. While the road racers are hitting the apexes, the off-roaders are dodging the pucker bushes.
And in 1985, 4 members of the Do It in the Dirt crowd were especially impressive.
Pikes Peak has long been the domain of the hairiest of the hairy-chested. This year, petite French rally driver Michel Mouton changed all that. Using a 4-wheel drive Audi Quattro, Mouton shattered every hill record, even bettering the times of the Wells Coyotes, custom built for this event. Michel Mouton reigns Queen of the Mountain. Hairy chest eats your heart out. American rally star John Buffum used Mouton's Pikes Peak winning car to claim his 9th U.S. Rally Championship. Buffum won 4 of 8 rallies this season, nose out expatriate New Zealander Rod Millen for the 3rd straight season. On the World Championship rally scene, the year belonged to Peugeot and Finland's Timo Salonen. Salonen provided the French automaker with 5 of their season's 7 wins. Salonen clinched the title with an impressive first-time victory at his home country's grueling Rally of 1,000 Lakes. Finally, the consummate off-roader, Rod Hall, who has lost only 1 desert race since 1981. This year, he was 10 for 10 in the United States, and he even went to Australia and used a 2-year-old show truck to win 3 straight races down under.
2 more past Racers of the Year also figure in the 85 story. We'll have their stories in a moment.
And we're about to turn over the keys to that brand new motorcycle, so stay with us. '85 marks the 4th year we at Motorweek have honored a Racer of the Year. One time in those 4, a woman won the award, and that very special lady is the subject this week as Valvoline presents a page from Ken Squire's scrapbook.
Hello, everyone. Here is still another page from my motorsports scrapbook.
August 1982, Brainerd, Minnesota. At the first ever National Hot Rod Association North Star Nationals, Shirley Muldowney had a problem. She failed to make the finals in her last 2 races, putting her quest for an unprecedented 3rd Top Fuel World Championship in jeopardy.
At Brainerd, she made the final, but her opponent was the quickest driver in drag racing history, Californian Gary Beck. Muldowney knew she had to get the drop on the lightning-fast Beck at the start, and when the green light flashed, she did it. Beck smoked his tires trying to catch up. Muldowney was away to her third win of the year and her third world title, an achievement for which Shirley Muldowney was named Motorweek Illustrated Racer of the Year in 1982. I'm Ken Squire. Join me next week for another great moment in motorsports.
Shirley subsequently suffered serious injuries in a racing crash, but the good news is she has announced her comeback, and in a few weeks she'll begin her run for 1986 Racer of the Year. And now, Darrell Waltrip, our first Racer of the Year, back when he won the '81 Winston Cup Stock Car Championship. In 1985, he's in contention again. Darrell's season began with a whimper, but it ended with a bang. He turned things around in a very big way Memorial Day weekend at Charlotte, North Carolina, winning the Winston and the World 600 and pocketing $250,000 in prize money. From there, Waltrip kept the pressure on point leader Bill Elliott, and when Bill's luck went bad, Darrell took the lead with 5 races to go and held on to win his third championship in 5 years and $1.2 million in prize money. Now, in any other season, Darrell's performance, indeed any of the achievements that we've reviewed today, might have earned Racer of the Year honors. But in our view, the one element that stands out in the definition of a racer is that never-ending effort to get to the checkered flag first, week in, week out, to win races. And in 1985, nobody won races quite like Bill Elliott. All season he's been winning races. Today, he wins the motorcycle. Bill Elliott, Racer of the Year. Congratulations. It's nice to have you here on Motor Week today.
Thank you, Dave. Good to be here.
This must have been a fun season for you, bottom line.
It's been fun in a lot of ways. It's been long and hard. I look back over it, you know, and there's a lot of things that didn't happen to us. You know, I would like to win a short track race. I'd like to win a championship. We came so very close, and I'm proud of that, of the effort we did put into it. And, you know, we've still got next year to look forward to everything else.
Let's go back to the beginning of it all, back at Daytona, when you guys came down from the North Georgia mountains with that race car that was so fast and just blew everybody away. Why were you so much quicker than everybody else at Daytona?
Well, I think it was just at that time we came out, we had a good combination going. The car was good. Ernie had a good engine. I felt like I got the chassis worked out real well. The crew was working good that day. And just a combination of everything that really caused that to be a good week for us.
But it wasn't just one day. You went on a tear and won so many super speedway races. And all along you said it was hard work. It was hard work on our part. Are you ready to reveal any more secrets beyond that today?
Well, I feel like this year we're going to have to work even harder. You know, GM's coming out with some new cars that'll be a lot better aerodynamically than last year. And I feel like some of the teams gained on us some at the end of last year, but you know, we've worked hard. Whether it'll help or not, whoever knows. We'll go to Daytona, we'll give it our best shot and see what happens.
You won Daytona in such a big way, and then, boy, as quick as the feast is over, it's famine time. You broke your leg at Rockingham. Did you kind of see it all going away from you there for a minute?
It felt like it was, because I went to Richmond a week after Daytona, wrecked, hit the wall pretty hard there, then came to Rockingham, blew a tire, hit the wall there awful hard, and did hurt my leg, but we had a weekend off. And then we came to Atlanta, and I was really optimistic about how things would go in Atlanta. I ran pretty well there the year before in the fall, and I was looking forward to trying to put something together there, and we did.
And you did and did and did. Week after week, all summer long, you won all the super speedway races, and surely things must have started to change for you there. All the pressure about the million, all the media attention. Did your life get a good bit more complicated during the summer?
Well, I think it has, even from when Daytona started. A lot of things had happened. You know, what got on when we were going into Charlotte, the Winston Million got to be a factor. And then whenever we didn't get it there, it was still carried over till we got to Darlington. Plus, we had the points race. We were leading in the points race at that time. So there was so many things involved that it really got to where, you know, it was a fight and battle every time you went to a race, you know, pretty much any way you looked. You know, you had to worry about how you run on a racetrack, and you had to keep things going, try not to make mistakes.
You always had pressure coming from somewhere, didn't you?
No doubt about it.
Did that get to you at any point? The Rockingham interview comes to mind.
I think Rockingham it did, you know, and I'm sorry for a lot of things, and that's one of them. Is is, you know, I think everybody gets caught at a wrong time, and that was one of them. You know, I'm human just like anybody else. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. I'm sure there's days you don't want to stay here in front of the camera.
You bet.
But, you know, whether you're prepared or not, that's one thing bad about any sport. I don't care. I've seen it in anything, you know, whether it be baseball, football, whatever. You get in a bad situation, there'll be times that you know, you say the wrong things.
You took your shots there and went on and were as graceful in championship defeat as you were in victory. And now that it's all over and you look back on it, it was fun and it must have been tremendously satisfying for you.
It was, because of all the things I look back, and as young as our team is, and the accomplishment that we've done makes me as happy as anything we could ever have done.
Bill, we have a very nice prize for our Racer of the Year, and we're going to get to that in a moment. But first, we want to hear from a man who has covered all the great racers for 50 years. Here's Chris Economaki of National Speed Sport News.
The selection of Bill Elliott as Driver of the Year by many entities, including Motorweek Illustrated, is a meritorious one. And not because Bill Elliott won more pole positions or more races or more money than anyone else, including the Winston Million, but because of what Bill Elliott has done for motorsports in general and auto racing in particular during 1985. Bill Elliott's performance on the track and the performance of his equipment, which the family put together, called attention to motorsports in numbers that it has never seen before. It was an institutional bonanza for the sport of auto racing. All in all, Bill Elliott's pioneering on the racetrack and his great success has done for auto racing what Arnold Palmer has done for golf and what John McEnroe has done for tennis. And we pat Bill Elliott, his family, and his sponsors on the back for doing auto racing a great service this year.
Anybody can do all that deserves the keys to the motorcycle. Bill, a Honda Nighthawk, and our congratulations.
Well, I'd like to thank all the people here at Motor Week. I'd like to thank Honda, and especially Coors, Harry Melling, and Ford for making all this possible.
Go jump on that thing, have yourself some fun. We'll see you at Daytona, okay?
Thank you, Dave.
Don't forget to leave that microphone behind. Ladies and gentlemen, 1985 is history, and Bill Elliott reigns as its brightest star. Next week, first installment of another great racing story, Racer of the Year 86. Catch it here on Motor Week. I'm Dave Despain. Happy New Year.
Promotional consideration and production fee paid by
and by Jaguar. Jaguar's powerful racing V12 sets the standard for a distinctively elegant grand touring car. The Jaguar XJS, a blending of art and machine.
And by
Beatrice. Many of your favorite products come from us, including La Choy Oriental Food and Avis Car Rental. Beatrice, you've known us all along.
Motorweek Illustrated was brought to you in part by New Valvoline 4Guard, the motor oil for today's harder-working four-cylinder engines. And by Dodge, an American revolution, a performance revolution.